guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Marvel Legends action figure review on the Puff Adder Build-A-Figure Waves 2023's Ultimate Captain America figure. If you have not read Ultimates, it's 20 years old now. Oh my god, right? 2003 is when it came out. I highly recommend it, at least the first storyline anyway. But you can see on the side right here, we get a 3D render image of Puff Adder along with other figures from the wave, and then we get some 3D renders of Captain America on the back, and then on the side you can see some beautiful artwork from Brian Hitch looking fantastic, and then no spot varnishing for that Avengers logo on the top. Not much more at the bottom, so let's get to it and crack this thing open. But first, if you're trying to get your Marvel Legends, you can do so at
Big! Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
And here's the Ultimate Captain America figure on the Mayfex stand in a Brian Hitch type pose. I loved that about the Ultimate's Captain America, how he just would go through these like big leaps and stuff like that. Very much translated well into the MCU. I thought that was great. But anyway, this figure right here, there are things that I like. There are things that I don't like. We'll talk about all of it soon. But first, let's get a closer look at the accessories. So I'm mostly satisfied with the number of accessories that we get with this figure, and I'm very happy to have this shield right over here. It is the same size as the 20th anniversary Captain America shield. I do like this design a little bit more with the larger star right over there, but yeah, it's very satisfying to have the larger shield right here without the holes in it. You get the same clip feature. You can see the stressing really bad right over there, so that is probably not going to last. Oh, bummer. And I do like the hands right over here. I just wish they added a wash to these because they look really good with the sculpt. There's a subtle texturing right here in the gloves, which looks great, but if there is a subtle black wash to go around with it, or to go along with it, it would really make that sculpt pop even more so. And then you get a right hand for holding a gun. He does not come with a gun, so that's a bit frustrating. It does have a horizontal hinge, and yeah, Ultimate Captain America does do the pew pew bang bang, so I don't know why he didn't come with a gun. Yeah, you're ruining my life. Anyway, you can see that the pinky is detached, which is really weird. I would have liked to have the index finger detached right over there, so that's kind of bizarre. You do get the horizontal hinge, if I didn't mention that already. All the other hands have the vertical hinge. Then you do have a left hand right over here with the wide open hand, and again, I really like the sculpt of it. Just wish it had a subtle black wash going throughout on the hands. That would have been very cool. And then you get two heads. And yeah, the figure, we'll get into that more in a little bit, but I think it does suffer from BAF. And yeah, this is looking pretty good. I do like it. It's just a little on the big side. I like the flesh tone. I like the photoreal tech with the little specklies right underneath the mask right underneath there. The eyes look really good. Clean deco right there. Nice texturing on the sides. You can see that, right? And it's nice and smooth. The color blue, I don't know. I feel like it's just a little bit off. I'll do some comparisons to some images later on, but this head sculpt looks great. Again, just large head, and we'll get into that more in just a second, but I just want to look at this one too, and I think it looks good. I also like that it looks like a different person compared to the 20th anniversary Captain America. Yeah, they both look like they could be the same person, but maybe not. I don't know. What do you think? So blue is my favorite color, and this is my favorite tone of blue right here, but I feel like it's a little bit more saturated than I remember from the books, but I'll throw up some images over here, and I could be totally wrong about that. I'm just going off of my memory at the moment. Does the head look big to you? It looks too big to me. Here's the Ultimate Captain America, which I guess you could say the head does look a little too small, but let me tell you this, man. When this figure came out, nobody was saying that. Like, everybody thought this figure was amazing when it came out, and having a wash on this figure would have been really cool to see. We did see that on the 20th anniversary version right there. It looked fantastic. Would have been nice to see that with this one right here too. And I do like the sculpt, and I mostly like the paint applications over here, but I did get a little bit of scuffing from articulating the figure around. So you can see they tried to avoid that from happening by getting this whole joint recessed into the shoulder, which doesn't bother me as far as the aesthetics go. It's just that I did get a little bit of rub on it still either way. I guess on this side, will the same thing happen? And no. So it's not the worst. It happened, but not the worst. Then you can see that we do get some nice gray paint on the inside. It's missing a little bit right over there and right over there. So there are imperfections, of course. I do like the pinless joints right here, and the gloves look really good. Again, if there is a black wash over them, oh man, that'd make the sculpt pop a little bit more, I think. And then here's looking at the other side. I do like all the pouches and everything. The belt buckle looks pretty good. Little thin on the silver paint. I could see a lot of brown coming through there. And then I did get, I can't remember if it arrived like this or if it came from me articulating the figure. We'll never know because the packaging didn't have a window to go along with it. So there we go. Oh man. And then you can see we get an X canteen right there. That's just a regular canteen with a star on it. And no paint detail on the buckles or anything like that. And then you can see that they did avoid putting the hole right through the star this time, so I think that works out pretty well. And it makes the shield sit on there a little bit lower. Almost put the wrong shield on there, so I like how that fits on there. That's pretty cool. It's not too high up. No matter which way you spin it, it's not going to be all huge behind him. It sits nicely back there, so that's very cool. And then, yeah, the new sculpted legs and everything is new on this figure, which is fantastic. At first, I thought they reused stuff over here, but they did not. Oh, yeah, that pattern right here for the neck. That looks really good, too. So there are parts where the paint looks a little bit weird. You know, I am noticing that, and I do wish we had a black wash on the blue areas too, but I love these wrinkles, and the pinless joints are great. This knee is a bit loose. We'll get into the articulation more in a second. Boots look great. Love the leathery detail. No paint, you know, it just needs a little bit of paint on him. It feels like he's just lacking paint. Some paint detail would be nice on this rugged looking Captain America. So I do like the articulation, man. You get some really good head movement. He will look up very far, and you can get him to look very far downward. It shifts forward and back like a pile driver, and you can turn side to side, and a little bit of head wobbling. Wish we had butterfly joints. No butterfly joints over here. Shoulders will move outward at about 90 degrees with a little bit of scuffage, but again, see if I got no new scuffage on this side. So just from that side on that one part of the star, I got it. Anyway, can rotate the arms a full 360. You do get the bicep swivel. You get the pinless double jointed elbows that bend in pretty far. And then we went over the hand articulation. And then you have the diaphragm joint that goes side to side. Diaphragm pivot only crunches forward a tiny bit though. I'm unsatisfied with that. Moves back just about the same amount. Yeah, with this one we got the classic ab crunch, and I think this worked out a whole lot better. We also get a waist cut over here, which is tricky to move around with that belt getting in the way. And then the hips move outward that far, and he will kick forward and back a tiny bit, upper thigh cut. Super loose on the right side right here with the double jointed pinless knees, and he will bend in that far. This one's a lot better. It's not super loose, but yeah, this, especially the top joint right there, does feel really loose on mine. You do get the boot rotation. Ankles move down. They do move up only a little bit, but he does have pretty good ankle pivot. Now to measure out this Captain America figure, you can see that he is standing a bit over 6.5 inches tall. Getting into some size comparisons, you can see we have the Toy Biz Ultimate Captain America next to our latest Hasbro Ultimate Captain America figure. And again, I feel like the blue is just a little oversaturated. Like, this is the right blue color, right? I mean, even with the different design, this still had a different kind of color blue. But I like this blue. Just not on this figure. Then here's our new Ultimate Captain America next to some Hasbro Ultimate Captain America figures, or recent ones anyway. We have the World War II version that came with the motorcycle from like 3 or 4 years ago, and then we have the 2013 Hit Monkey Wave Ultimate Captain America right over there. We have a whole bunch of Captain Americas from Ultimates and not many other characters. Now, aside from my Ultimate War Machine Iron Man variant figure, these are the only other characters that I have from Marvel Legends from the Ultimates. We have the 2-pack Nick Fury, and then we have Iron Man and my customized Wasp. I mean, seeing more Ultimates characters from Hasbro would be great, especially Iron Man. They could totally redo that Iron Man design. I always liked that design. Since I was ruining my Ultimates display, why not go all the way? Here we have Ultimate Captain America next to my Marvel Select Ultimate Hulk, and we have Ultimate Thor. I mean, are we going to get more Ultimates figures from Hasbro? Or is it just going to be another Ultimate Captain America like 4 years down the road? What's going on, Hasbro? More Ultimates characters, please. And here we have the Ultimate Captain America next to some recent Captain America figures. You can see we have the 80 years Captain America, the Alex Ross inspired version, and then here's the 20th anniversary version right over here. Now, all these figures right here are fairly current, and again, I do like that they've changed the sculpt, and it's new right over there on the upper torso and everything, or the whole figure anyway. But the big head, doesn't it stand out a little bit more so to you now, if it didn't stand out to you before? And just to prove this point, if you take the Alex Ross inspired head sculpt, get that on there, you're going to see that that head fits on this body a lot better. Maybe the neck is a little on the long side, but still, I mean, the size of the head looks like it's more in proportion to the rest of the body compared to the heads that came with it, right? Doesn't it look better like that? No? You disagree? I'd like to know what you think. And then here's Ultimate Captain America. Next to the only other figure from this wave that I reviewed, we have the Extremis Armor Iron Man. And someone left a comment about me not doing a head swap with the Iron Man. Oh, with some heat and a little bit of pressure, you can get this Tony Stark head on there. I think this is from the 80 Years Iron Man, if I remember correctly. Then here's Captain America. Next to your average 6-inch scale figure, we have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Hey, Captain America, what's that letter on your head stand for? This thing on my head stands for Afra. What's yours stand for, huh? Ass? Huh? Are you Captain Ass? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, show some love to the channel by simply clicking that like button. And if you're new here or old here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you have not already. And this Captain America figure is pretty fun, man. I do like it. I gotta say, it looks really good. I do have complaints about it. I complained about it a whole bunch, but it's still not a bad figure. I just don't think it's one that I really wanted really badly. Like, I didn't have a serious longing for a new Ultimate Captain America in the collection. However, if they're gonna go ahead and start making more Ultimates characters, then that could win me over and that would make me feel better about the purchase. But there hasn't been any announcements about any other Ultimates Captain America, or Ultimates characters anyway, so that kind of bums me out. I mean, if they're gonna do an Ultimates Iron Man, that would be pretty sweet and that'd make me feel good about getting this. So, kind of depends, you know, this might be, you know, aside from me wanting to do a review on it, this is one that I may have passed initially, but then maybe wanted to get later, or one that I would get right now just in case I would regret not getting it later. So, you know, either way, just based on the quality of the figure at the price point of around 25 bucks, I'm going to give this Ultimate Captain America figure a Sun rating of...
It's not too bad.
It's really not too bad, man. It's a good figure, just I wish the colors were a little bit different. I wish the head size was a little bit smaller, but aside from that, I think it's a pretty dope piece. Oh, it should have come with a gun too, right? It would have been nice if it came with a gun. So, I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below. If you want to see the latest Marvel news, you can find it all over at marvelousnews.com, and if you want to follow me on social media, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and on whatnot, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace!
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't. Your face.